Our environment. Environment. Everything that makes up our surrounding is known as the environment. The environment includes all living and non-living things present around us. It includes the air we breathe, water, animals, plants, microorganisms, etc. All these things are of great importance in our life and help us to survive. All the things of which our environment is made up of are known as the components of the environment. According to the nature of components, our environment is broadly categorized into two types. These are abiotic environment and biotic environment. The environment which is made up of non-living things is known as the abiotic environment. Air, water and land are integral parts of abiotic environment. Besides these naturally occurring things, climatic factors such as sunlight, storm, rainfall, snowfall are also considered as a part of the abiotic environment. All these components of abiotic environment make significant influence on the living organisms. Atmospheric conditions of a place make it suitable for growing of plants and habitat of animals. In desert areas, only a very few varieties of plants can survive. That is why only few animals can survive in desert areas. On the other hand, areas with moderate atmospheric conditions have large varieties of plants. Large number of animals live in such areas. The environment which is made up of living things is known as biotic environment. Animals, plants, microorganisms are the integral parts of biotic environment. According to their role in environment balancing, components of biotic environment can be broadly categorized into three categories. These are producers, consumers, and decomposers. Producers. Producers belong to that category of living things those can prepare food on their own. They are also known as autotrophs. For example, green plants came under the category of producers as they prepare their food through the process of photosynthesis in the presence of sunlight. Consumers. Consumers belong to that category of living things which consume food prepared by the producers. They are also known as heterotrophs. Due to their dependence on producers for food, humans and animals fall under the category of consumers. According to their food habits, consumers can further be subdivided into three categories as herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Decomposers. Decomposers belong to that category of living things which survive on dead plants and animals. Decomposers reduce them into simpler substances and return back the constituents to the soil. Bacteria, fungi act as decomposers. Animals such as hyenas, jackals, and vultures survive on remains of dead animals. They too fall under the category of decomposers and are known as scavengers. Factors affecting environment. To fulfill their needs, plants and humans depend on the environment. Our environment fulfills all our basic needs such as oxygen, water, food, shelter, etc. Besides all these, we also get medicines and fuels from our environment. Thus, we can say that our environment is our lifeline. But in the past few years, this lifeline is affected badly due to human activities. In the past few decades, due to human activities, several harmful changes are observed in our surroundings. We are continuously degrading the quality of our environment. There are many factors responsible for it. Some of the major factors affecting environment are deforestation, industrialization, increase in number of vehicles, etc. These factors and their effects on environment are being discussed here. Deforestation. Deforestation is one of the major factors responsible for environment pollution. Excessive cutting of trees causes soil erosion. It also affects presence of oxygen in atmosphere. This creates an imbalance in nature. Cutting of trees in excessive amount loosens the upper layer of the soil. Due to action of wind and water, this upper layer of soil gets eroded. This leads to soil erosion. With the passage of time, soil of that area becomes infertile. Besides soil erosion, deforestation also causes problems such as frequent floods, land infertility, etc. Industrialization. Industrialization undoubtedly improves our living standard to a greater extent and makes it more comfortable, but it adversely affects our environment too. Toxic gases released by industries cause air pollution. Harmful chemicals of industries disposed into water bodies which make them polluted. This affects aquatic organisms. Industrialization adversely affects human health too. Increase in number of vehicles. In the past few decades, an abrupt growth has been observed in automobile sector. Increase in human population is responsible factor for it. Increase in number of vehicles increases quantity of harmful gases released in the atmosphere. This increased amount of toxic gases and smoke causes air pollution. Apart from air pollution, increase in number of vehicles also causes noise pollution. Pollution control. Over the years, due to human activities, our environment is getting polluted. Factors such as deforestation, industrialization adversely affect the environment and causes pollution. A polluted environment is harmful for living beings. All over the world, many big cities are facing the problem of polluted air. Pollution is a serious threat for humanity. We need to take certain measures into account in order to control pollution. Afforestation. More use of renewable energy sources, minimal use of fossil fuels, etc. are some measures by which we can control pollution over a greater extent. Afforestation. To overcome our needs of wood, we are cutting down trees in large numbers. Construction of roads, buildings are responsible for this too. Due to excessive cutting of trees, forest lands are being destroyed. Deforestation creates imbalance in nature as it promotes soil erosion and adversely affects oxygen cycle. To overcome all these problems, it is necessary to plant more and more trees. Planting of trees in large numbers is known as afforestation. Afforestation helps us to avoid soil erosion. Afforestation balances the oxygen cycle and keeps our environment green. A number of NGOs promote afforestation to save our environment. Government of India celebrated 1 week long Van Mahotsav every year on arrival of monsoons. Minimum use of fossil fuels. From the combustion of fossil fuels, we get energy. As a result of combustion, fossil fuels release toxic gases. This leads to air pollution, which affects the human health. Fossil fuels are exhaustible in nature. Fossil fuels will not last forever. That is why we need to use fossil fuels as least as possible. Now, this is the time to prefer LPG, CNG and other cleaner fuels over fossil fuels. Using renewable energy. Another way to control pollution is by using more and more renewable energy sources. Renewable energy is inexhaustible in nature. It is a clean medium of energy. Power generation from renewable energy resources cause no harm to the environment. Nowadays, using various modes, we are utilizing renewable resources to fulfill our energy needs. Various forms of renewable energy, such as solar energy, wind energy, hydro energy, play an important role to overcome our energy crisis. Greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect is the process which makes human life possible on the earth. When heat of radiation received from the sun gets trapped in the Earth's atmosphere, it adds warmth to our surrounding. This complete process is known as the greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect works as a temperature control factor for the Earth. Burning of fossil fuels, excessive cutting of trees, mining, more and more construction, and setting up of industries cause abrupt increase in amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is the main constituent of greenhouse gas. Heat of the sun is naturally trapped by greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, which leads to overall heating of the Earth's surface. Due to this heating, average temperature of the Earth's atmosphere increases. This is known as global warming. Ozone layer depletion. Ozone layer is a gaseous layer present in the atmosphere at an approximate height of 20 to 30 kilometers. This range of height varies with seasons and geographical conditions. Ozone layer protects us by absorbing harmful ultraviolet radiation of the sun. Over the years, due to various human activities, ozone layer is getting damaged. Overuse of chemicals and pesticides in agriculture adversely affect the ozone layer. Due to depletion of ozone layer, ultraviolet rays from the sun now reach the earth. This causes more and more skin diseases and have adverse effects on marine life and habitat. Waste management. To overcome the problem of pollution, there is a need of proper waste management. Waste should be separated before disposing them on the basis of their nature. Biodegradable and non-biodegradable. We can conserve our environment by proper waste management and can control the pollution to a greater extent by taking certain more measures. Some of the points are listed here. More and more recycling is need to be done. Waste should be disposed only after proper treatment. Biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste should be disposed separately. Toxic gases releasing from industries and vehicles should be allowed to dispose in air only after removal of harmful constituents from them. Chemical waste should not be disposed directly into atmosphere. For proper disposal of waste, compost and biogas plant should be promoted.